everyone, ready for a deep dive? We're tackling Fiverr today, and those make thousands online promises. See, there's this YouTube video, right? This creator's claiming they're going to build a whole business on Fiverr, shooting for $11,000 a month. And get this, they're filming the whole thing. Exciting. Totally. A little too good to be true. Maybe. Which is why we've got our expert here, someone who lives and breathes online freelancing. They've seen it all, the good, the bad, and the just plain ugly.
Let's just say I've got a few Fiverr stories up my sleeve.
Yeah, well, I bet you do. But first things first, is this creator's plan legit or headed for disaster? Because here's the thing, they're not exactly Fiverr newbies. They've been selling video services, pulling in like $10,000 to $20,000 a month. Not too shabby.
Right, definitely not chump change.
But, and this is a big but, they're over that whole client churn thing, constantly hunting for the next gig.
Yeah, that's the freelancer's dilemma, that feast or famine cycle. Everyone's looking for that steady income, that peace of mind.
And this creator thinks they've found it. Their big idea. Social media management, but on subscription. 3 tiers. 10 posts a month, 20. Or the deluxe 30-post package. Prices seem reasonable, $345 to $695. But here's their twist. They're leaning into UGC-style videos. Those authentic-feeling ones everyone's loving.
Smart move trying to tap into that, especially in social media management. It's a crowded space. But UGC, that requires a certain touch.
Oh.
Can they keep that up, stay ahead of the trends? Because that's not exactly a walk in the park, is it?
And behind the scenes, this isn't a one-man show. Our creators upfront about having a team, editors, designers, you name it, built for scale from day one.
Outsourcing, that's key if you want to grow beyond trading hours for dollars. But it's a whole other ballgame. And team dynamics, quality control, all remotely.
And speaking of getting a head start, they've already got their first client locked in, someone they've worked with before, almost like a trial run.
It's a double-edged sword, right? Sure, it's great to have that early win, that social proof, but it's not quite the same as starting from zero, building a client base from the ground up. It's like they're already on first base, but can they steal second?
Makes you think. And this creator's aiming high. Their goal, $5,000 a month in recurring revenue within 3 months. Not just one-time gigs, but that sweet, sweet subscription money. Ambitious? Totally. Possible? Maybe?
Well, that's what we're here to find out, right? We've all seen those income claims online, but they don't tell the whole story, do they? For every Fiverr superstar raking it in, there are hundreds, maybe thousands, still hustling for that first sale.
So true. It's like anything else, you only hear from those who've struck gold. The grind, the setbacks, those don't make for glamorous headlines. But those are the stories I'm curious about, the real stories.
It's all about keeping those expectations in check, right? Those success stories online, they're just snippets, the highlight reel. They don't show the hustle, the grind. Every business has its own path, its own timeline.
Totally. And speaking of paths, this whole Fiverr thing, it's got me thinking about that algorithm. Feels like a whole other beast to tame.
Oh, it absolutely is. It's Fiverr's world, and we're just living in it. You can have the most amazing service, but if you don't play by their rules, you might as well be invisible.
Okay, so break it down for me. What does playing the algorithm game even look like? Asking for a friend, obviously.
Right. Of course, your friend. Well, it's all about optimizing those gig listings, snagging those 5-star reviews. Got to keep those clients happy. And that seller rating. It's like your credit score on Fiverr. Got to keep it squeaky clean.
So it's not a set it and forget it situation.
Yeah.
Gotcha. What else?
Oh, Fiverr. They love to keep you on your toes. Algorithm updates, new features, policies that'll make your head spin. It's like a constantly moving target. The ones who thrive, they're adaptable. Always experimenting, pivoting when they need to.
So you're saying it's like running a business within a business. And speaking of which, let's talk UGC. Smart move by this creator to hop on that trend, but will it be enough?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Execution is everything. The UGC game. It's not for the faint of heart. We're talking high-quality, on-brand content, stuff that actually connects with their target audience. Otherwise, it's just noise. And let's be real, social media trends, they change faster than you can say algorithm.
Okay, so you got to be nimble, you got to be adaptable. What else? What else should people know before diving headfirst into the Fiverr pool?
Communication is key. Let me tell you, those Fiverr DMs, they can be a wild ride. Responding promptly, being crystal clear about what you offer, and top-notch customer service. That's how you win on Fiverr.
So those 5-star reviews, they're not just a given. You've got to work for it.
Absolutely. You're building relationships, not just completing transactions. And when you're chasing that recurring revenue dream, those relationships, they're pure gold. A happy client is more likely to stick around, tell their friends. It's like free marketing.
Word of mouth is powerful. Okay, but let's flip the script. What about red flags? When you're scrolling through those make money on Fiverr stories, what sets off your internal alarm bells?
Oh, I've got a nose for those. One word: survivorship bias. We only hear from the winners, right? The ones who struck gold. But what about everyone else? For every Fiverr millionaire, there are thousands grinding away, hoping for their big break.
It's easy to get blinded by the glitz and glam, forget about all the hard work, the setbacks.
And anyone promising instant riches, run the other way. Building a business on Fiverr or anywhere, it takes time, dedication, and yeah, a whole lot of learning on the fly.
No shortcuts to success, huh?
Nope, not a one. But you know what does help? Remember how we talked about this creator having that first client lined up? It's a good starting point, but
There's always a but.
it can also create a false sense of security. It's great to have that early win, but it doesn't replace the need for a long-term client acquisition strategy.
So they're a few steps ahead, but still need to run their own race.
Yeah. Exactly. And Fiverr, it's a marathon, not a sprint. You need stamina, resilience, and the ability to adapt when things inevitably go sideways.
Music to my ears. Okay, we've covered a lot. What are our key takeaways from this creator's Fiverr journey so far?
They've found a need and are offering a solution, incorporating their skills in a unique way. Plus, they're thinking ahead with their team and that focus on recurring revenue. Smart moves.
Moves our listeners can learn from, even if they're not on Fiverr. But if you had to pick one piece of advice for someone just starting out.
Nail your foundation, your Fiverr profile. It's your storefront. Make it shine.
First impressions matter, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But also, be prepared for the long haul. Fiverr's a journey, not a quick cash grab. It's going to have ups and downs, wins and losses.
The emotional roller coaster of entrepreneurship.
Buckle up. But you know what? It can be incredibly rewarding watching someone pursue their passion and create something from nothing. And this creator, they're just getting started.
And we'll be here to break it all down every step of the way. Now, let's see if our Fiverr entrepreneur can walk the walk. Okay, so we've talked strategy, dissected the game plan, but now it's time for the real test. Can our ambitious Fiverr entrepreneur put all this into action? Will their hustle pay off?
This is where the rubber meets the road, right?
Yeah.
Talk is cheap, execution is everything.
And we've definitely highlighted some potential pitfalls along the way. Just to recap, we've got a creator aiming for that $5,000 a month, right? Building a social media management business on Fiverr, using those attention-grabbing UGC videos. They've got their team in place, their pricing, even snagged their first client. But knowing Fiverr, what could trip them up? And I don't just mean the algorithm, although that's a whole other beast.
Oh, absolutely. But let's not forget those client expectations we discussed, especially in a field like social media management. It can get tricky.
Right. It's not like selling a handmade sweater where everyone agrees on what it looks like. Social media, it's all about nuance, interpretation. What one brand loves, another might hate.
Exactly. Clear communication with clients is non-negotiable. Our creator needs to set crystal clear expectations right from the start, define those key performance indicators, those KPIs, and provide regular updates. It's all about staying in sync.
Like a constant conversation. You can't just send a client off into the social media world and hope for the best.
Exactly. And speaking of hoping for the best, let's talk about measuring results. Gut feelings only get you so far.
We need data. Cold, hard data.
Our Fiverr entrepreneur needs to know what's working and what's flopping. They've got to be ready to ditch those strategies that aren't delivering and double down on what's bringing in the results.
So adaptability is key, letting the data guide their decisions. But let's be real, building a business on Fiverr or anywhere, it's not just about spreadsheets and algorithms.
You got it. This journey has its ups and downs. Our creator needs to be prepared for the roller coaster ride. There will be highs and lows, doubts, maybe a few client emails that make them question everything.
We've all been there. And honestly, that's what makes these stories so relatable. Because behind the scenes, behind the perfectly curated online presence, it's a real person.
And that's what makes it so inspiring. Watching someone chase their dream, build something from nothing, navigate the wild world of entrepreneurship. It's a good reminder that with hard work, dedication, anything is possible.
It's about the journey, right? And on that note, we've reached the end of our Fiverr deep dive. We explored the good, the bad, the exciting, and the terrifying. We talked about algorithms, client communication, and the importance of staying adaptable in a constantly changing world.
But most importantly, we were reminded that success is not a straight line. It's about embracing the journey, learning from our mistakes, and never losing sight of the bigger picture.
So true. Now it's your turn. What about you? If you were taking the Fiverr plunge, what unique skills, what passions would you share with the world? Head over to our social media and tell us. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.